This is Thomas Paul's Week, this time from Geneva. I'm here with Professor Dr. Thomas Johnson from the US, but he has been working in Europe, in Eastern Europe, and then in Czech Republic for decades. He is our special envoy to the Vatican, but also our special envoy to what we call humanitarian Islam. So he has written about this, he has researched about it, he is involved in a large-scale dialogue with a certain wing of Islam, not hastily running into it, but because based on a lot of relations, but also of studying. So tell us a little bit in this whole dialogue, do we have to see Muslims as a large, big, dangerous bloc, or what would you tell from your experience? What can we do to have more positive relations?
Well, thank you. Yes, I've been engaged with the humanitarian Muslims, mostly from Indonesia, for about 4 years, maybe 4.5, and it's been fascinating to interact with them, to read their materials. But one of the things I've noticed is how different Muslims are really different from each other. The ones who get a lot of the news are the very violent radical types who blow up a church or a hotel or a mosque or something. But that leaves most of the Muslims out of the picture. And some Muslims have made a point of explaining that in their writings, in their theology, in their ethics. And the humanitarian Muslims have made a point of saying they really accept international standards for human rights and freedom of religion. And on that basis, we can trust them to be good neighbors, I believe. And when we were beginning this, we talked with Christians in Indonesia, and they said, yes, they really are doing their best to be good neighbors with Christians, living as good citizens together, even as friends. So there are some Muslims who we should not see as dangerous or as frightening. They really can be good neighbors and good friends to us, I believe.
There has been quite some events that we did together. Tell us about the newest invitation you have to Jakarta.
Yes, at the end of November 27, the president of Indonesia is calling a summit of religious leaders to talk about, especially about the war in the Middle East right now, to bring together some people to look for different options. I hope this is a successful meeting because we obviously have too many wars going on right now, not only in the Middle East, but in Africa and in Ukraine, and some other hot spots. So I'm hopeful this might be a little step forward to bring this big group of people together, very smart people, to talk about how religions have a role in peacemaking. Now, I personally feel like we've sometimes asked our diplomats and government officials to do things they really can't do very well. Governments can do certain things, but they haven't shown the high-level ability to solve violence without violence. And so we have to find alternate models to reduce conflict, and I'm hopeful this might be a little step forward.
And let me add that our Indonesian friends have proven that it is more than words. We have examples where in 1 year there were threats against Christian churches in Indonesia, and the young people of our partners would go to all churches and stand in front of it, just to say, if you want to come here, if you want to destroy the church, you first have to go against us. We have statements in which they have spoken up for Christians, evangelicals, Catholics in Indonesia, Papua, which is the other half of Papua New Guinea, where the Christians are very much under pressure, and they have spoken up against Indonesians using this situation with corruption and all kinds of other things and asking the government to assure freedom of religion and belief and human rights in Papua. So they have proven that this is not only nice words, but that they are stepping up for us as we have been stepping up for them. And the funny thing is that the media, one newspaper put this out very clearly when we had a meeting in Washington. They said, we are here to assure that we have the right to evangelize each other. I like the statement, and that tells a little bit about our background. Thank you very much.